Staring at four walls that seem to be closing in while trying to simmer a pasta sauce without elbowing a toaster is a specific kind of design claustrophobia. Choosing a color for a tiny space often feels like a high-stakes gamble, where the wrong shade of gray might accidentally turn a home into a rainy day in London. Most people freak out about dark colors because they think the room will shrink, or they stick to a surgical white that feels as cozy as a dentist's waiting room. This anxiety is real, but a little secret from the world of high-end interiors is that size is just a number, while color is a feeling. The goal is to stop fighting against the square footage and start leaning into palettes that breathe life, light, and a touch of luxury into every single inch of that small kitchen. There is a massive myth floating around the design world that small kitchens must be white to survive. While white is a powerhouse for reflection, it is not the only way to play the game. In fact, some of the most iconic, moody, and sophisticated kitchens in Paris or New York are barely larger than a walk-in closet, yet they use color like a weapon of mass distraction. The objective is not just to make the kitchen look bigger, but to make it look so intentional and beautiful that nobody even notices the size. Moving past the era of playing it safe allows a kitchen to reflect an actual personality rather than a landlord's fear of bold choices. When it comes to small kitchens, without any doubt, this is the best color combination for those who crave a timeless foundation. Think of white and cream as the cashmere sweater of interior design. They go together to reflect plenty of light, which makes the kitchen look brighter and more open than it actually is. This is not just about brightness, though. These shades create a clean and fresh look, which is essential for any kitchen where things can get messy fast. By leaning into Alabaster by Benjamin Moore, we get a white that feels soft rather than clinical. With a hint of warmth, the cream elements such as cream countertops or cream cabinets can lift up the tone of the entire kitchen, making it a warm and comfy space. Imagine morning light hitting a cream marble backsplash while you brew your coffee. It feels expensive and airy. To elevate this, try adding unlacquered brass hardware. The way the gold tones catch the light against a cream cabinet adds that lived-in luxury vibe that feels effortless but looks like $1,000,000. If the goal is to create a modern small kitchen that feels sophisticated but approachable, this color scheme is a winner. Using Labrador Blue by Benjamin Moore brings a dusty, intellectual vibe to the space. Both colors are neutral, which means that they can easily incorporate together against any other elements inside your kitchen, like stainless steel appliances or wooden cutting boards. There is a certain calmness to this pairing that feels like a foggy morning by the coast. With some gorgeous hint of blue, the pale blue color can add some richness to avoid the entire kitchen looking boring or flat. This is where texture comes into play. Imagine these cool tones paired with a light oak floor or a gray slate tile. The blue acts as a soft whisper of color that keeps the eye moving, which is a classic trick for making a small room feel more expansive. It is the perfect choice for anyone who wants a bit of color, but is still afraid of anything too loud or neon. This combo creates plenty of warmth, making any kitchen feel welcoming and comfortable from the moment a person walks in. Using a shade like Snowbound by Sherwin-Williams provides a crisp backdrop that never feels icy. Since both shades have a very similar hue, they can go together, creating flawless and harmonious looks that blur the lines between where the cabinets end and the walls begin. This lack of hard visual breaks is exactly what makes a small space feel continuous and vast. To spice things up, adding other colors to accentuate the kitchen through small decor pieces or even a colorful rug can add layers of depth. Think about the tactile experience here. A beige linen tea towel draped over a snowbound white sink feels cozy and curated. This palette works beautifully during the golden hour, as the warm beige tones soak up the orange glow of the setting sun, turning a tiny cooking corner into a glowing sanctuary. Yellow shades can be a really useful choice when it comes to small spaces, because they act like a shot of espresso for the room. Specifically, using a shade like Lemonade by Benjamin Moore will reflect plenty of light, while also adding a strong vibrancy to make the space feel much brighter. However, the typical school bus yellow may sometimes look overly strong in a tight area, and that's why choosing a light or pale yellow is the pro move. Using white alongside this sunshine hue can help balance out the striking looks of yellow elements, making the entire space feel more balanced and eye-pleasing. Imagine white subway tiles with a very thin, light yellow cabinet frame. It feels nostalgic, yet fresh. It reminds me of those charming countryside kitchens, but distilled into a sleek, modern format. This pairing works wonders in kitchens that do not get much natural light, as it artificially creates a sense of cheerfulness even on a cloudy Tuesday. Most people may be afraid of using black in a small space, fearing it will turn the kitchen into a dark cave. However, if it is only used as an accent, black can still look pretty good. The secret is the balance. Using a shade like Lazy Gray by Sherwin-Williams as the main color provides a versatile backdrop to let the black element shine and stand out without overwhelming the room. Some black kitchen materials, such as black marble countertops or a black tile backsplash, can be a great addition to bring a bold, elegant twist inside the space. This is high contrast design at its finest. It feels architectural and intentional. To keep it from feeling too heavy, use glass front cabinet doors or open shelving. This allows the gray walls to peek through, maintaining that sense of openness while the black accents ground the design and give it a sense of gravity and high-end style. This scheme will easily evoke a calming and relaxing atmosphere inside a kitchen, which is great if cooking feels a bit stressful for you. Incorporating a color like Green Wave by Benjamin Moore feels like bringing a bit of the garden indoors. The gray will keep everything looking simple and grounded, while the pastel green adds a touch of nature, making them a perfect combo for a fresh and stylish kitchen. Biophilic design is a huge trend right now, and this is the easiest way to achieve it in a small footprint. Pair these colors with natural wood tones or a jute runner to lean into that earthy, organic aesthetic. It is a palette that feels quiet and restorative. During the morning, the light hits the green and makes the whole room feel like it is breathing. It is a sophisticated way to do color that feels grown up and serene rather than childish. Light blue and white can easily make any small space look larger and more spacious because they mimic the horizon line where the sky meets the clouds. The white elements, such as white cabinets or white countertops, will make the kitchen look clean and crisp, while light blue adds a pop of color without overwhelming the space. This is a timeless combo that can be used in almost any kitchen design style, from classic farmhouse to ultra-modern minimalist apartments. Using Sleepy Hollow by Sherwin-Williams gives the blue a slightly muted, sophisticated edge that keeps it from looking like a nursery. This palette loves a bit of texture, like a white Zalige tile backsplash that has slight variations in tone. The way light bounces off the irregular surfaces of the tile against the soft blue cabinetry creates a visual depth that distracts the eye from the small square footage. If a homey, grounded feeling is the goal, this is another harmonious combo that is worth trying. The warm beige and soft brown can go together, creating a kitchen that feels inviting with a strong, earthy look. Using a color like Evening Gown by Benjamin Moore provides a taupe-like base that feels incredibly chic. To get an even better appearance, adding some greenery or plants throughout the beige and brown kitchen will bring the whole look to life. Think about using dark wood floating shelves against a warm beige wall. It creates a sense of history and permanence. This palette is the antithesis of the cold, sterile, modern kitchen. It is for the person who wants their kitchen to feel like a warm hug, a place where memories are made over slow, simmered stews and long conversations. It feels stable, rich, and incredibly high-end without being flashy. Sometimes a small kitchen needs a bit of a personality transplant, and that is where red comes in. If white is the main palette for the kitchen, then adding some strong, energetic colors like bright red can be a great way to spice things up and make the space feel more exciting. Using Red Bay by Sherwin-Williams as an accent, perhaps on an island or a single accent wall, creates a striking contrast against the white. This makes the red pop and become a new focal point of the kitchen, which effectively draws the eye to a specific area and away from the overall size of the room. It is a bold move, but in a small space, bold moves often pay off the most. Think of it like a red lipstick for your home. It is confident, classic, and adds a layer of diner chic or high-end bistro vibes depending on how it is styled. Another great bold color that serves as a perfect accent for a white-themed kitchen is navy. This classic and timeless combination will give the kitchen a sophisticated and elegant look without too much drama or effort. The stunning contrast between the navy and white can add depth and bring new visual interest to a space that might otherwise feel flat. Using Hudson Bay by Benjamin Moore on the lower cabinets while keeping the upper cabinets white is a classic designer trick. This grounds the room and makes the ceiling feel higher because the lighter color is at eye level. It is a look that never goes out of style and works beautifully with chrome or silver hardware for a crisp, nautical-inspired finish. It feels organized and sharp, which is exactly what a small, busy kitchen needs to remain functional and beautiful. Light green and pale blue can be interesting choices because even though they have a completely different hue, they can still go together, creating a calming and soothing atmosphere. This is a bit of a color theory curveball, but it works because they both share a similar cool undertone. The light green comes with a fresh and relaxing ambiance, while pale blue gives the kitchen that peaceful and serene feel. Using Windy Blue by Sherwin-Williams provides a soft, ethereal base for this look. Imagine a pale blue cabinet with a light sage green backsplash. It feels like a watercolor painting come to life. This combination is perfect for someone who wants to experiment with color, but wants the result to remain understated and polite. It is a breath of fresh air in a world of boring beige. Adding a beautiful twist to a white-themed kitchen can be as simple as incorporating some peach elements or accessories. The warm looks of the peach can lift up the mood of the white kitchen, making it feel much more alive and interesting than a standard monochromatic look. Peach can also become a great accent color that still gives an interesting appeal without too much vibrancy or neon intensity. A shade like Peach Cooler by Benjamin Moore is soft, inviting, and surprisingly modern. It mimics the glow of a sunset and makes skin tones look great, which is a weird but true interior design benefit. In a small kitchen, peach reflects a soft, warm light that makes the space feel cozy and intimate rather than small and cramped. It is the ultimate color for someone who wants a kitchen that feels sunny and optimistic every single morning. This is another great scheme that incorporates yellow, but this time it is used alongside soft gray for a more grounded feel. The soft gray is a great upgrade from typical gray, with a much more warm and soft appearance that feels more like a hug than a concrete slab. This feature helps it blend effortlessly with the vibrant yellow, creating an inviting and cheerful kitchen that feels balanced. Using Daybreak by Sherwin-Williams provides a yellow that is subtle enough to not be overwhelming, but bright enough to make a statement. This pairing was actually the Pantone color of the year a few years back, because it represents resilience and hope. In a small kitchen, it feels like a very intentional design choice that says, I know how to handle color. It is sophisticated, playful, and very current. Unlike most greens, bright green comes with a strong vibrancy that makes it pop against any other colors, especially neutrals like white. This feature makes a bright green an interesting choice for anyone who needs to bring a kitchen alive without using overly striking or dark shades. At the same time, bright green can still bring some freshness and natural beauty as any other green shade, creating a fresh and lively kitchen atmosphere. Using Celtic Green by Benjamin Moore is a bold move that feels incredibly high energy. Imagine bright green lower cabinets with a white quartz countertop and white walls. It is high contrast, high impact, and highly memorable. It is the perfect palette for someone who views their kitchen as a place of creativity and experiment. It feels youthful and energetic, turning a small utilitarian space into a centerpiece of the home. A kitchen can be a great place to relieve stress, and that's why incorporating sage green into the kitchen color scheme is very popular right now. Using sage green alone can make any kitchen feel fresh and relaxing, and it can even help reduce the feeling of stress after a long day. On the other side, beige will support the visuals of the kitchen using its soft warmth, and together with sage, they create a visually aesthetic and eye-pleasing look that makes everyone love spending time there. Garland Green by Benjamin Moore is the quintessential sage that feels expensive and soft. This combination is the peak of the lived-in luxury movement. It feels like a high-end cottage in the English countryside. Pair this with aged brass hardware and some terracotta pots for herbs on the windowsill. It is a look that celebrates the smallness by making it feel intentional and curated, like a precious jewel box of a room. The ultimate takeaway here is that a small kitchen is not a design limitation, it is a design opportunity. When working with limited square footage, every single choice carries more weight, which means you have the chance to create something truly dense with style. Do not be afraid to lean into colors that make you feel something. Whether it is the quiet confidence of navy and white or the cheerful optimism of peach and cream, the right palette will transform the room from a place where you merely cook into a place where you actually want to exist. Design is about storytelling, and your kitchen tells the story of how you start your day and how you nourish yourself. Choose a color that makes that story a beautiful one. Remember that the best kitchens are not the ones with the most space, but the ones with the most soul. Go forth and paint with confidence, because your small kitchen is waiting to become the biggest personality in your home.